Okay, how we interact. The format of our interaction, of our representation ourselves in the metaverse can be, of course, be with avatars. We perceive now digital avatars as of human image, um, basic image, or your own image. It depends. I know already avatars that are designed a different way, and the ownership of avatars are already certified by the NFTs that all you probably know. Human image avatar with extended skills. For example, in real life, you cannot fly, or you cannot, for example, ride the bike. But you can have an avatar that knows how to ride the bike or can fly by itself. Also, with the green lights, you can see, with the green color, you can see that you can be a non-human image. Why wouldn't I be a cat? Nobody knows whether I'm a cat or not a cat. It can be a different avatar, or it can be absolutely non-human, non-physically living thing. I can be a flower moving, or it can be absolutely a fictionary object. And it also can have an extended skills, which we don't know right now, which they can be. And aside stands a story of the individual digital eye-drilled copy of a person. Right now, there are plenty of projects that are trying now to blend all the possibilities to create several copies that would be eye-drilled. For example, today I might have a wedding on my son, or a birthday of my husband, and physically I cannot be here, even online, right? But you still can have my text, so you can have my examples. And if I know the topic, if I know, for example, the audience and the goals of why I want to present there, I could have a digitally eye-drilled copy of myself that could be presenting. Of course, it wouldn't be so lively. It wouldn't make mistake. It might not correctly react to some other things that happen on lively, but we can do it. And there are projects that already do it. So in some of the activities, you will have your own self on the avatar, or in simultaneously the other activities in the metaverse, you can be your digital copy, although it has to be identified. And here again, when the blockchain and the NFT come, because right now there are plenty of tech, plenty of instruments, especially with the relatively new standard of NFT soul-bound token, that represents a very significant step in identification. You wouldn't be able to sell it, but you would be able to hold it on your wallet, and through it, with subgraph technology, you would be able to trace all the NFTs representing your avatars, your digital copies, your other assets. Could we move, please, to the next slide? Okay, why and how we perceive a metaverse to be ecosystem or the world. Before I go into this description, which is commonly acknowledged, but with me it is always different. I never support what is commonly acknowledged. Generally, I want you to think broader about it, because do you ever think that metaverse can be the whole can be the whole thing that is one and only for the whole world, with the different bridgings for smaller worlds, for smaller metaverses, for project metaverses, and so on and so forth? Or it can be just sporadical single living metaverses without bridging. Again, are video games the metaverses, or it's simply the programmable video worlds, very enhanced with AI and with 3D tech, or even with tactile tech. But generally, right now, we look at the metaverses as an ecosystem. And here I would like to cite the very famous metaverse analyst Matthew Ball, who says that metaverse is ecosystem because it's interoperable network of real time between 3D virtual worlds. It is persistent, meaning that whenever you or any other user logs out or leaves or stops for a second, the world doesn't cease existing, and it has its own life without you also. Something is happening and being portrayed, viewed to you, or saved even without your activity. Users have a sense of presence in the virtual reality. There are different technologies that give you the sense of presence. And ecosystem, as again, has the continuity of data, meaning that it screens your identity, actions, communications, payments, meaning that whenever you as a user come back or go away, the metaverse saves everything that you did there, and it remembers that you were there. Can we have the next slide, please? Here again, we can see the new. Could you do the sound on the right part of the video very low, so while it plays, I can speak. There is a sound on the right.
Biggest rewards.
Could you lower the sound, please? Okay, thank you.
Experience the metaverse like never before.
Here again, we are seeing an absolutely new metaverse as we would like to perceive it in the blockchain world or generally. That gives us the idea how it is all working, bringing the perks of Web 2 here. Inside, we can see these spaces that is already built, as opposed to the earlier metaverses that were like in the real estate shell and core, where you have to build everything from scratch. It took enormous amount of energy. It took enormous amount of time, and it took extensive. It was extensive in terms of investment and skills to have the suitable equipment to build it. Let's move to the next slide, please. Next. Yeah, okay. What kind of modern tech helps us to be in the metaverse and to stay there? First of all, this is really a long description. I'm sorry about that, but it has to be all said so we can have the general idea. Generally, there are more than 40 and according to something more than 70 plus tech stacks that have to be considered and still have to be maturely developed. They also need to be adapted and adopted in the safer, secure, and more affordable way so that metaverses could operate as part of our life. Again, it is a big question. Do we really have to operate it as part of our real life, or we just want it for some other things? The other question, do we generally want it to happen to the humankind to move from nice real world into the digital world, which is so limited and will remain limited because as humans, We are physical to like 78% of our expression, not digital. But not, let's not go into psychological complexes and go further. So, first of all, for the metaverse to generally start normally working, we need the following underpinning technologies. We need better and cheaper virtual reality and augmented reality devices, altogether known as extended reality devices or extended reality symbiotic tools. We need absolutely different level of artificial intelligence to render virtual worlds and chatbots, and I would say avatars themselves. And we need to bring digital currencies and non-fungible tokens absolutely to a different level and differently look at the enabling virtual economies inside. Why, for example, very big players who do and program absolutely marvelous virtual worlds do not go into metaverse yet? Why they're not there? Because their economy doesn't suffer yet. Their economy gives them as much monetization, as much tools for extracting the money as they can only imagine. Last year, I think numbers about 6 trillion people were actual players were playing the games. Why they're not still yet in metaverse? Like the average participation in the metaverse, if you have 20 people on your site, it's something really incredible. Where are all those people? Because the big players are not there yet, because the technology doesn't give them yet the ability to earn more on that and to extract the earnings better. And also the business model that has been successful for so much time with Apple and everything like B2B2C model is not here in the metaverse yet. And that's why I was showing our partner project, because this is a project that tries to do it. They try to give you as much of the ready-made templates inside the metaverse so you can launch your own business. And with that, other people using that could be earning money otherwise. Let's talk about virtual reality a little bit, and I would not go into very obvious things like it is still very expensive. All tools and wearables are still very expensive. All augmented reality is still not fully comprehended by the big players, and it's not so easy to be in it because, again, the tools are still not massive and not very affordable. Mixed reality devices are envisioned as tools that will provide value to various sectors, as I said, to manufacturing, education, health, and many others like security, for example, or even military, because you could be able to provide the programmed training courses or simulating situations where people could be using everything and achieving some educational learning results. Another thing is haptic technologies. These are technologies that stimulate our sense of touch. It's a substitute to our beautiful real world of reality. These technologies enhance user experience by editing tactile feedback. It's like feeling that you touched something soft or sharp, or feeling the breeze, or feeling scents and different touches of the other person sometimes. They still are at a very early stage. Very simple haptics are already integrated into mobile phones controllers, some wearable devices. But haptic seats with multiple sensors are still to provide us more immersive experience. Um, Artificial intelligence, I would not touch very much because we already have spoken about it, but generally, it provides us scalability and sharper, mm, sharper tools that could be um, engaged without real life persons here. Um, Artificial intelligence will play a very important role in supportive immersive technologies and generally in the metaverse functioning, in rendering mistakes and so on and so forth. For example, it will render virtual worlds beautifully and already does that. It will drive digital 3D versions of chatbots. It will shape interactions between avatars, and it will enable the real-time translations, for example, through natural language processing. Sorry. Blockchain technology and NFTs, as I said, would be responsible for the ownership, identification, and therefore also for economic trend. Generally, we all know what the ledger technology is, so I would not stop on that. But generally, just think about it that virtual worlds, for example, and video games with big players can survive and are existing and came into being absolutely without blockchain and without NFTs. They do marvelous without us. So it is important to note that everything can exist and operate without that. But especially thinking that blockchain technology is still kind of slow. For example, if you are in the virtual world, or if you are in the free unprogrammable metaverse, and you are just staying there as an avatar because somebody called you on the phone, or you dropped something, or I don't know, your cat is on your computers and is playing with the tool. Does that all have to be on blockchain? Do we have to spend the resources and save it, all these stupid actions on blockchain? Probably not. So it is still going to be somewhat of the very good balance. And finally, the technology that saves it all and connects all between themselves is the neural technology that will enable a direct connection of technical components, such as electrodes, computers, whatever you call them, together with the human nervous system. This is a tough part. I would rather finish this path and leave it to some people who are